Hey guys, what is up? Shadolance back for another review. Today I'm going to be doing the G36E, which I surprisingly have not actually done before. So, I'm finally getting around to it. I've done the Valkyrie and the Autumn Valkyrie, but I've never actually done the G36E. I really thought I had, so I figured I would go back and do it. I'm going to be comparing it to the Autumn Valkyrie and the regular Valkyrie. I'm not going to compare it to the KE because it has a different type of... it's almost a completely different gun if you guys watch my review on that, so I'm going to be going over that. I'm also not going to be uh, talking about the Yuletide Persuader because obviously that's also a completely different gun. So first of all, going over the G36E, has a damage of 45, a portability of 57, a rate of fire of 68, an accuracy of 90, and a recoil of 68. Now this is one of the most popular weapons in the entire game, if not the most popular assault rifle. It's just a very, very common one that you see around. It's good because it's a tap fire weapon, and it has a pretty fast fire rate. It's not the fastest in the game. It has a 68, so it's a little on the low side for assault rifles, but it's high enough that per the damage of 45, it definitely helps out, and the spread's relatively small. It's not huge, especially if you're standing still or crouching, which is how you really should be using the weapon. But anyway, also it has that accuracy of 90 with the sniper scope, so it's basically a Rec 7 Rangers or one of the weapons along those kind of lines. It's basically the same thing. That's why I don't feel like people should have to go for the Rec 7 Rangers. People are like, oh, it's the Rec 7, I gotta go for it. Well, not only do I find this scope more useful for a lot of things, not for everything, but for a lot of things, I like the scope a little more, even though the scope is kind of weird, and I will talk about that in just a minute. So, yeah. Overall, I do want to go over the stats really fast. So, damage of 45, portability of 57, rate of fire of 68, accuracy of 90, and recoil of 68. So overall, the stats actually don't look that impressive. The damage is very high, which is good, and the accuracy is very high, which is good. However, the rate of fire is slightly lower than the average assault rifle. The portability is also slightly lower. It's 57 when the average is about 60 to 65. And the recoil is 68, which is kind of hefty for an assault rifle. You usually see between 60 and 64 for that. So while the stats don't look particularly great, overall it is typically a very popular weapon because of the tap firing. If you tap fire at just the right speed and just kind of practice with it, I can't really. It's hard to describe because it's something I've been so familiar with for such a long time. It's kind of hard to go over. But if you tap fire with this weapon the proper way, it's actually incredibly easy to get all the bullets to go almost exactly where you want. And if you're scoped in, the first bullet is perfectly accurate, if not the first few. And also, if you go in scope and you spray, it also tightly decreases, I should say. I shouldn't say increases. It tightly decreases your spread, which is really, really nice as well. So you can spray down alleys much more effectively. But yeah, overall, it's just a very useful weapon. Now, oh, I guess I should also say it is customizable with a suppressor and a magazine. If this thing was customizable in the Gun Emporium, it would be a little too OP, if you know what I mean. So, overall, if you want to look at the statistics, it's just basically a better version of the AK-47. Has slightly less damage, but the damage drop-off is pretty decent already. It's not the best in the game, but it's quite good. It's enough to be a solid 3 to 4 shot kill at almost any range, so 5 shot on a heavy vester or tanker vester, but yeah, that's kind of obvious. To the chest anyway, so. It's also only a fully automatic weapon. It's not a burst mode weapon. I think burst mode would be a little bit too OP in my opinion. Too OP, man. But going back to the price, it is less than 1,000 GP for a day. 950, almost said 9,500. It's like, that's kind of expensive for a one-day weapon, but anyway, for 7 days, it is 4,700 approximately, 4,655. So yeah, it's not that expensive. Its only restriction is Sergeant, so it's a very, very, it's a weapon that you get very early on in the game. And I think that's about it for this gun. I am going to go over the G36E Valkyrie variant, which I do believe has the exact same stats, except it has less damage drop-off, and the spread recovery is slightly faster. I do know those two things for a fact. The ammo capacity on all the variants except for the Autumn is 30 of 90. So now going to the Autumn, which I know I obviously made a pretty extensive review on this because I use it so much, but I am going to go over it again right now. You really only see it when it's around on sale. People don't typically use it around when it's not on sale because, I don't know, people just don't like using this gun when it's not on sale. I don't know. But just in general, damage retains 45, portability goes way up from 67, from 57 to 65. That is an 8-point increase. That is pretty big. Rate of fire goes from 68 to 68. It stays the same. Accuracy stays at 90, and recoil, I do believe, stays at 68, yes. So the only increase to the Valkyrie, the Autumn Valkyrie from the basic G36E, is the portability goes up by 8 points, but also the damage drop-off goes down even further from the Autumn... I can't speak today. From the Autumn variant to the regular Valkyrie. The decrease is much, much less on the Valkyrie. You're more likely to do more damage with the Autumn. The Autumn does more damage. I think I am really screwing this up and confusing you guys. So the Autumn has less damage drop off than the regular Valkyrie. There we go. Finally got that out. I cannot speak today. I'm like trying to speak really fast, and I don't know. Not really trying to. It's just natural. But anyway, it does have that same integrated scope. It's the same as all the other G36E variants. And honestly, I think the Autumn Valkyrie might as well be the equivalent of an NX rare. It's incredibly powerful. It's way OP. I use it in almost all my competitive matches just because I love it so much. Although I've recently been using my M4A1 Sob mod in a lot of clan wars just because I really like the gun. It's fun to use. So, yeah, on all the variants can take the suppressor and magazine, not just the regular one, and all of them still have the same automatic fire rate. So, yeah. Also, I guess I should go ahead and say the Autumn Valkyrie does have the 35 of 105 ammo capacity, which is different. So, but overall, the G36E GP variant is really good, and if you can get used to using the weapon for tap firing, it's kind of the all-purpose assault rifle. On the other end of the spectrum from the M416 series, you usually see the M416 and the G36E as the two most popular assault rifles in the entire game. That's because they're all low-ranked variants, and they're just, in general, yeah, they're so easy to use. Anyone can learn to use them. The G36E takes a touch more skill than the M416 due to the spread size, but overall, the G36E, in my opinion, is a little more popular than the M416. I just tend to see it more often, but both guns are almost equally used. I'm just saying if I had to pick one, it would more or less be the G36. Overall, it's a weapon that everyone should get a chance to try. It's a low-ranked weapon. I don't think anyone should really stop playing a game before they get to Sergeant, because Sergeant is such a low rank. You can do that in like a day easily, if not sooner. So I think everyone should at least take the time to try this weapon. It's definitely worth it. And the Valkyrie is, I would actually suggest you buy it if you have the NX to do it, because having a permanent version of this, or even being able to carry two of these into a clan war, would be incredibly useful. And if you're able to get your hands on the Autumn Valkyrie, then power to you, dude, because that, or girl, I guess I should say girl. I know I have some female viewers as well. Sorry, girls, but anyway, I should be apologizing to my girlfriend. That'd be kind of, she'd be hitting me about now. But anyway, also this gun is frequently compared to the AUG-A1, just because they follow the same sort of purpose with the sniper scope on the high damage, high accuracy weapon. So, I mean, it's kind of a which one do you prefer. Now, personally, I prefer the AUG series. I love the AUG series so much. I've used them in every game I've ever played. So, just in general, those are my favorites. And also, I did want to point out one more thing. I would not be trying to go for the G36KE. The regular E is better. You can actually tap fire with it. You can't really tap fire so well with the KE. At least not anywhere near as fast. And you just don't get enough boosts to make it worth it. Especially since the Autumn Valkyrie gets the portability increase that the KE gets and maintains the ability to tap fire. So, just in general, I think the G36E variants are better than the KE or the C. Well, I guess I can't really include the C there because it has a different purpose entirely. So, and I talk about that in the review for the C, so just go watch that. But other than that, that's about it for this review. Thank you for watching. I am definitely still trying to get to 500 subscribers and above that on my new channel, so please give me a hand. I really appreciate all the help I can get. Please rate, comment, subscribe, big key on the subscriber list, and I will probably be hosting, I think I said I was going to host some more events once I got back up to 500 subs, and 750 respectively, and 1,000, and so on. Every big landmark I will make another event. Anyway, thank you for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, and I am sure I will see you in the next review. Shadolance out.